Hey guys, welcome back to Phone a Friend News with the Ambassadors of Gaming. I'm one of your two ambassador hosts, Chris.
And I'm Michael.
We're doing our weekly news. As if you're tuning into this one, you've probably seen the other ones, and if you have, good for you. We like the support. I appreciate it. I don't know if Mike does, but I do.
I do. I do
He doesn't.
appreciate it.
His mic volume just dropped a little bit.
I was adjusting it.
That's why.
There we go. Is that better?
It's all right.
Okay.
All right, so we've got uh some fun stuff. I mean, the last topic is a little interesting. Um, but Mike, why don't you start with our division update?
Okay, so it is March 21st that we're recording this. So the update will go live on the 22nd. And they tend to be sticking with the theme of doing their updates while they're doing their server maintenance. So this time around, they're doing a bunch of different stuff. A lot of stuff for regular gameplay out in the open world. They're doing a lot of stuff in the dark zone. They're fixing some exploits. There's like a loot cave kind of thing people are doing right now, and they're fixing that. They're fixing like Destiny had one of those guns that had a gun that had like a ridiculous perk on it. Remember that? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Which are you talking about the Touch of Malice? Oh wait,
No,
that thing still exists.
no, it was a shotgun perk or something like that that
No,
came
I don't know.
out in House of Wolves, and they took it out. It's something like that. The talent is called Trained. They changed it now. It can only be put on shotguns, marksman rifles, and pistols, and it's been reduced from 1% to 5% is the range that it had. Now it's just a constant 0.1%. For the Midas SMGs, it's being replaced with responsive talent, which increases damage when you're moving closer to target, and that applies to all of those, new and old. SMGs, LMGs, and assault rifles will be replaced with randomly picked talents, and that'll apply to new and old. A lot of this stuff is just minor bug fixes. Let's see here. Like fixed an issue where players became stuck in a moat animation if activated via chat while auto running. Some NPC stuff. Mods.
Basically, when a game's release, beta testing doesn't tell you everything, unfortunately, because, there are some people where, you think you exploited the shit out of it, and then you give it to, oh man, why am I swearing so much recently in these? I have no idea why. Until you give it to a gamer who is intent on finding bugs. And even if they're not trying to find bugs, after a game's release, they need to get a feel for the game first. And a lot of games, at least nowadays in the current generation of games, they release their game and then they have one really huge update a little bit after the release, kind of I guess you could say setting everything in stone. Making their choices of what's acceptable, what's not, and then fixing up bugs that were there with release. Which is good. I've got to be honest, I haven't really been playing much of the division. At least not recently. I've been a little. I can't say I'm busy. I'm on spring break. I've been distracted, but tomorrow on the 22nd, I do plan to record, edit, and upload me doing a division mission. I hope that'll still happen, but do check that out.
I hope so. I'm probably just gonna do some Dark Zone shit here soon too. Show off the Dark Zone a little bit. I like the Dark Zone. Can I talk about a little bit of these Dark Zone updates? Because some of these are pretty good.
You don't have to ask my permission. I'm not your boss. I'm your brother.
Yeah, I know. I just
don't do too many. We don't want to bore people.
Okay. So you can heal people now that aren't in your group. You can fast travel to the checkpoints when you're outside in the world map, and you want to get to the Dark Zone. You can just fast travel to those now. Let's see here. I'm trying to find the biggest ones. You'll lose less funds and experience when you die now,
which is good.
Fucking pain.
you could really drop some levels if you have a bad day.
Yeah, like I was just playing with a guy. He was ranked 31. He lost 3,000 XP when he died, just once. Yeah, and it takes like 12,000 XP to get back up, and
Yeah.
you only get like 100 per kill. So it's a bitch to fucking get all the way back there.
I mean, I get what they're trying to do. They basically took the kill death ratio idea and put it into scoring uh,
Yeah,
with experience. I personally don't think that's a good idea. Um, that's kind of a crappy thing to do, or at least whatever perks became, or not perks, whatever things became available once you got to a certain level would stay there. Even if you drop back below that level, once
mm,
you got to that marker, like say you need to be Dark Zone level 5 to buy something, and if you get past level 5, you have that unlocked. But if for some reason you get knocked back down to 4 or 3, you still have those unlocks available. Um, yeah, at least that's just what I think. I don't really agree
yeah.
with going in there and then having your actual experience decrease. Like,
Well, to be fair, the Dark Zone goes up to level 99, and you only have to be level 30 to actually buy gear and stuff like that, from what I understand, and get the chests and things like that. I think there's another thing at 50. I think once you hit 50, you can buy certain gear from like the really, really far end ones in the Dark Zone. But yeah, I agree. They're a little harsh with it. And they're a little harsh with the drops in there too. One of
yeah,
the
they're
two of the other things they're changing that are huge, at least for me, is so there's rank 30 chests. You can only open them once you're rank 30, and right now they only drop blue, which is specialized, and they're changing it so that now they'll drop purple. Every time you open them, they'll drop a purple, and that's really cool, especially
yeah.
because, and I guess I'd consider it an exploit, but like if you're going in there and one of your friends is 30 and you're not, and they open a chest, you can go get the loot from that chest too. Everybody in your group can go get the loot from that chest. It's like a collective thing. It's not just that one person. So that's nice. And then there's keys. You know the Dark Zone keys? Those open chests, and now those have a chance to drop high end loot, which is the top best of the best
The
loot.
yellow
Yeah. So that's
or
pretty
gold,
cool.
depending on how you look at it.
And then most of this other stuff is just like cosmetics.
Mm-hmm.
And then some of them are specific to each platform. Like PS4 now has an option to disable the controller speaker because Isaac speaks through the controller speaker.
So what you can have it come through the TV.
Well, yeah, I mean he comes through the TV anyways, so you just get dual sound when he talks. Um, but I don't know. I might turn that off. Don't get me wrong, I like it, but sometimes, especially when me and my girlfriend are playing and we're in the same area, I'll hear hostiles incoming 4 different times from 4 different areas, and it
Mm,
fucks with my head a little bit.
yeah.
So,
Um,
but that's about
this
it.
may be a little off topic, but I just looked over and I forgot to say. I went to Target's little Pokemon Day thing. Target had like their Pokemon Day celebration, and I am an avid fan of Pokemon. Um, and I bought 2 packs of cards just for the heck of it. I never buy cards, but I
Yeah,
just did. And one of them had a full art Mega Glalie EX.
I bet you were pretty happy.
It's holographic and stuff. It's just, I mean, I don't play
Nice.
the game or anything, but
Yeah,
play the trading card game, but I thought it was cool.
some of those are worth a lot of money.
Not now. They're easy to come by.
You'd be
Not right now.
surprised. Mega Charizard X, Mega Charizard X EX is worth $75, and he only came out like 2 years ago.
$75. Oh my.
Yeah, people are people take that shit serious. I've
Mm.
played with people that play those games serious. They do not fuck around.
I am in the process of EV training a Frostlass.
Ooh, funsies. I hate
Fun
EV training.
times. Okay. But now that sorry about that, I kind of
Rambled.
I don't know. Pokemon. It's cool.
I feel it.
Okay. Well, now that were you finished with the division update?
Yeah, that I mean, you can go on their website and it has all the patch notes right there. because it is a lot, and I just don't want to bore people with reading the whole damn list.
Yeah.
So,
Essentially, a lot of it is bug fixes and minor tweaks to the drop rate, basically. Um, so this one's cool, but it's not exactly, unfortunately. It's the idea is in its infancy. All right. So Games Radar put up this article about Microsoft contemplating whether they're going to integrate digital trade-in. So like you give back a game that you no longer play that you bought digitally, and they give you credit back. The idea is actually really cool, considering a lot of people don't really buy discs anymore.
sure.
Everyone wants the. I'm one of the outliers just because I'm a collector. If you look at the desk I have right now, there's so many freaking toys on it, you don't even know. You'd never be able to guess that this is the desk of a 22-year-old. Um, but I digress. It's a good idea. It's a really good idea. But in its infancy, Microsoft is, at least of right now, if they did it, they'd give back 10%. That is where it goes bad. That is a terrible idea. The idea is not for games that you buy and then trade in a day later, like you beat a game really quick and then you turn it back in. The idea is to trade in games that you don't play anymore. Like if I traded in, okay, this is a bad example because the Xbox One hasn't been around. But say this was on the 360, and let's say I traded in Call of Duty World at War, like
Yeah.
right now. The game was $60 at release, and then they'd give me $6 back. That's very low.
That's probably about what you get from GameStop at this point.
Yeah, that's
And it's honestly, it's probably 10% of what they're selling it for on the store right now.
yeah.
Not even 10% of what you bought it for.
Mm-hmm.
Which would be super shitty because you can buy World at War and all the DLC for like $20.
World at War was a great game, and it was the first one with the zombies.
It was.
Zombies. We should play zombies later, Michael.
We should. We can do that.
We should play zombies later.
We should do that. I want to do that. Let's do that.
Oh, there's another thing I'm going to branch off at, and we're going to let the community decide.
Okay.
Now, they'll probably side with you. They will probably side with you, but I'm going to bring up my point anyway.
Okay.
The common players of the division, the group we play in, are Justin, Mike, and I. And I talked to Mike before the division came out, and we were talking about what platform we were going to get it on. He was very adamant at getting it on PS4.
I was.
He was so adamant. Now, I play PS4. I have a PS4. I prefer playing it on the Microsoft console. That's just me. I guess that's just what I was used to. I played the 360 before the one came out. It's just what I prefer. And Mike was like, no, I want to get it for the PS4. So I was like, okay, fine. It's not worth me playing, and then I already went through that crap with Destiny, playing it on the one and then on the PS4. So I was like, okay, I'll give in. And then not too long ago, Justin brought up the fact when we were playing with him that he also brought up to Mike that he wanted to get it for the Xbox One. Now, that's a 2-to-1 vote. Now, even though I am a math major, it doesn't take a math major to see that we had the vote, and we should have got it.
It's not my fault. I'm gonna pull a politic move and just be like, it's not my fault you didn't talk to each other. You coulda, but you didn't.
Drove me nuts. I'm so upset. Now, I know that PS4 is the preferred console. Its sales definitely show that.
Which is sad, because the Xbox is still pretty good.
It really is.
It's still a pretty
That's
good
my
console.
go-to console. PS4 is just for gaming. My Microsoft console. I say Microsoft console because I don't want it to hear me behind me.
I usually have to call mine stupid names for it to react. I'll be like Xbox, and it won't do shit. I'll be like, hey, you fucking piece of shit, Xbox. And I'll be like, boop boop. What do you want?
My issue isn't exactly platform related. It's more so the fact that we had the vote, and Mike was the one that was like, "Nope, we're doing it on PS4,"
I will do it.
even though Xbox One gets the exclusives.
True.
You little Judabega. I don't think I've ever said that in our videos
I'm
before.
probably not. We should have gotten Call of Duty on PS4 and The Division on Xbox. Should have just went where the exclusives were. That's probably what we should have done. But
okay, but I branched off. I'm so sorry. This is gonna be we're gonna get like no views on this. I'm telling you. Um, but like I said, the service is definitely meant for really old games,
like
not
Portal.
for not yeah for Portal, not so much for buying Unraveled digitally,
Yeah.
playing through it in like 4 days,
And
and
getting
then
like
return.
$2 back.
Exactly. It's supposed to. I guess what they're thinking of is maybe along the lines of kind of forgetting what the price was.
I
Like as
guess.
opposed to like, hey, we're gonna give you this game, or you can trade in your game and you'll get a few dollars of credits. Like, oh,
Hmm.
really? As opposed, like with a game that you don't even think about buying it. Um, Something really old, time. So your comprehension of things changes with time. That's
Yeah.
all.
You forget shit. We got a lot of shit going on in the world.
Exactly. So,
Let me set this over here.
Mike, you want to talk about VR?
I do.
Taking too long.
So it's finally happened. Sony finally announced the release date. There's specific technicals for PlayStation VR. It's coming out in October of this year. It'll be $399 without any of the peripherals. No camera, no PlayStation Move. Just the headset. That's for people that already own a PlayStation camera, which according to Sony they sold 900,000 of.
Yeah, so definitely more than you would think.
Yeah, which is weird. I have one. I don't really use it that much, but I have it. It's honestly it's only really used. It's like the Kinect. It's really only useful for like live streaming on Twitch and that kind of shit.
I love mine for voice commands.
True. The PlayStation voice commands are they're all right. They do what they need to for the most part, but there's that one, and then there's the 500. There's a $400 no camera, no move. $500 one comes with a PlayStation camera, 2 moves from what I understand, and a game.
And the headset, obviously.
Well, yeah, on the headset and PlayStation VR World. And then let me see where I want to quote. Oh, okay, this one's from Polygon. And so the thing is, when they announced that, they announced a bunch of other shit too while they were doing it. After the fact, they had their main conference and then they took questions afterwards for other shit. So this is a quote from a Polygon article, and it was Chris Norton at GDC told developers that, quote, there's no excuse for not hitting frame rate. You cannot drop below 60 frames per second, period, ever. I can't stress that enough. If you submit a game to us and you drop down to 30 or 35 or 51, we're probably going to reject it. Because each, the PlayStation VR is like all the other ones. It runs 2 screens at once. So they each run at 60 frames per second for a total of 120, I believe.
Yeah.
And
I don't think does it work like that?
That's how they're saying it does. That's how they're saying it does.
I don't think it works like that with 2 separate screens. I don't think it.
That's how Oculus says it is. That's how Vive says it is.
I suppose they know more than me, I guess.
I'm just going with what the PR people say. So there's that. So then, of course, everybody's like, well, now we can sit down, we can compare all 3 headsets. The problem is, PlayStation VR doesn't run independently of PlayStation. It can only be used on a PS4. And the Rift and the HTC Vive can only be used on PCs. They can't be used on PlayStation. They can't be used on Xbox. Fuck, Oculus can't even be used on Mac. So, actually, they said they won't.
Yeah, they were mean.
They won't support Mac until, quote, they make a good computer. Like, wow, would it be a dick?
I mean, no. I mean, I get that Macs aren't really dedicated gaming machines. They're really not.
Yeah.
I'm saying that being an avid Mac user. I'm recording on a Mac Mini right now. But I can tell you they are not the best gaming computers. But what did Apple do to you? What did you need to lash out at them for?
Yeah, like what? Why?
Meanies.
What the fuck? There's this comparison spreadsheet. I'm just gonna go through the small bullet points here real quick. So each one runs an OLED display, which is it's what the Vita originally had. It's a really crisp display. It shows a lot of colors vibrantly and that
Deep
kind of
deep
stuff.
blacks, vivid colors.
Yeah. Um, the the resolution for PlayStation VR is 1920 by 1080. The resolution for Rift is 12060 by 1200, and Vive is 2160 by 1200. So Vive and uh, Oculus are more or less the same. They both have 90 hertz refresh, 110 degrees, whereas the PlayStation has 90 hertz, 120 hertz depending on the game, and 100 approximately 100 degrees. So it has 10% less degrees field of vision, but 110 degrees is a lot of degrees. 110 is probably like that, and 100 is probably like that. I'd have to say. So I mean, it's not a complete wraparound, whereas Oculus and Vive are probably almost completely wrapped around your head. So, but the price point is where everybody's been talking about because PlayStation VR is $200 cheaper just for the headset. But if you bought the headset, the Move controllers, and the camera, everything you need to play the game, it's still $100 cheaper than buying Oculus,
Right.
and like $200 cheaper than or 300 cheaper than Vive. And it runs perfectly fine. Like if you're not in if you're not a PC gamer, you're not really gonna give a shit. Because PC gamers are the ones that are like, I need to have fresh refresh. I need to have high FPS. I need my game to run really fucking good because they're just picky about that kind of shit. I
Mm-hmm.
appreciate it. You want your games to run good. I don't complain about that shit. But console gamers, we're not as specific. We're like, whatever. The game runs, it doesn't crash. I'm good.
We're in our
So
own world.
so that's more or less what it's come down to. Um, I'm excited. The pre-orders went live in UK, I believe, a day or two after it was announced, and they sold out in 20 minutes. Yeah. So it's and
My goodness.
pre-orders for US go live tomorrow or today probably when I put this up. They go live March 22nd for both bundles, I believe, for the bundle and for the headset themselves. So I'm pretty excited. Outside of there's no specific date. There's no like it's October blah blah blah. It's just they just get in October of this year it's coming out. So probably E3 they'll be like, okay, this is the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm pretty
I'd agree.
excited. I'm pretty excited. I think. See, the problem was is they didn't announce the Move bundle with the camera until after GDC happened. So when it came out at GDC and they're like $400, here's the headset. Everybody's like, what the fuck? You don't include the camera or the Move controllers? Like, so I gotta go buy all this other shit independently. And then they're like, whoa, chill. We got you. Here's a bundle. It's cheaper than buying all that shit independently. Here you go.
Yeah, I love the way so that you're just like chill, chill.
You guys didn't even give us a fucking chance. You gave us like
Speak
2 hours.
Speaking of the Game Developers Conference.
Oh yeah, this little spicy
Oh
nugget
my
of
goodness.
information. I feel so bad.
At least the head of Xbox called this out.
He was not
So
happy.
after the GDC, there was they had a little kind of after party. Um, some of the Xbox employees, I believe, right? Yeah, and they featured, as the label puts it, a lot of scandalously dressed women. And a few people were tweeting on it. This one tweet from Jennifer Surle.
Oh,
I'm sorry if you're. I doubt you're watching, but I can't pronounce your last
she's
name.
she's super angry.
Yeah,
She's
she
not
says
happy.
this is how the games industry excludes women by pretending we don't exist and having dev parties with strippers. Um, I've got to be honest. I totally agree. We're at this isn't the 50s
Yeah.
anymore. Like, we're in a world where it is happening very slowly, but many people, or at least some people, are starting to realize that you shouldn't start to judge people by their gender. You should just think of them as human. And
Yeah.
then once we discover aliens, then there's going to be even more people, and we're going to go through this whole issue again. Only instead of that, it'll be only instead of gender, color, it'll be human.
Yeah.
Uh, I definitely agree that if you're going to have like an open press party, like it's kind of a it's just really bad PR.
Yeah,
It was just it
it's
was
bad
such a bad.
PR.
I'm laughing because it was such a bad idea. It's one of those things where you picture someone like them spawning the idea and everyone around is like, "This is a great idea," when it was just a terrible
I
idea.
When I was describing this to you before, the other day, uh, I described it as a bunch of lower end, probably like people like me and you that work at Xbox were like, it'd be really cool if we got shit faced and had strippers. That would be badass. And then they threw this party, and Phil Spencer just gets a this reads these articles Monday morning. He's just like, God damn it! I just could never catch a break with you fuckers, can I? Then he's like, I gotta type out this fucking email.
Right? He sent out. I don't know if we have a copy of it right here.
I do. I can send it to
Oh, I
you.
got it. I got the statement right
Okay,
here.
very good. It's very extended.
Not this. Oh,
There's a letter and a statement from Phil Spencer. One is a letter he sent to everybody in Xbox, and the other is a statement he made to the
Microsoft posted a letter that Phil sent us. Okay, yeah,
outlet.
this is this. All right, I have the letter and the statement. So I'll read the statement first. Um, at Xbox hosted events at GDC this past week, we represented Xbox and Microsoft in a way that was not consistent or aligned to our values. It was unequivocally wrong and will not be tolerated. I know we disappointed many people, and I'm personally committed to holding ourselves to higher standards. We must ensure that diversity and inclusion are central to everyday business and core values. We will do better in the future. And that just kind of says, look, I can't change anything about it. I'm sorry. I just want this to be put behind us. Um, I mean, I mean, I doubt that he made the decision.
Yeah, I doubt he was like, you want to have strippers and get drunk? Okay, let's do this.
All right. And then this is a letter that Phil Spencer sent to the entire Xbox staff. And it basically is kind of a wider, basically an extended version of the letter. So I'll go ahead and read that. It's not super long, it's 3 paragraphs.
Yeah.
How we show up as an organization is incredibly important to me. We want to build and reflect the culture of Team Xbox, internally and externally. A culture, a culture that each one of us can represent with pride. An inclusive culture has a direct impact on the products and services we deliver and our perception consumers have of the Xbox brand and our company as a whole. It has come to my attention that at Xbox hosted events at GDC this past week, we represented Xbox and Microsoft in a way that was absolutely not consistent or aligned to our values. That was unequivocally wrong and will not be tolerated. This matter is being handled internally, but let me be very clear. How we represent ourselves as individuals, who we hire and partner with, and how we engage with others is a direct reflection of our brand and what we stand for. When we do the opposite and create an environment that alienates or offends any group, we justly deserve the criticism. It's unfortunate that such events could take place in a week where we worked so hard to engage the many different gaming communities in the exact opposite way. I am personally committed to ensuring that diversity and inclusion is central to our everyday business and core values as a team, inside and outside the company. We need to hold ourselves to higher standards, and we will do better in the future. Um, and
Yeah.
if I do believe that this was leaked, that this letter was leaked. Um,
Um.
I'm not sure if it was posted on its own.
No, it said Microsoft posted it.
Uh,
Yeah. I don't. Is there a hyperlink to it? Yes, there is. Wow, I sound like an old person. Can I
I
open
mean,
this? No. Okay, I
This
guess I can't open it.
is it's a good thing. It needed to be said, um, because no real progress, at least in my opinion, no real progress in a lot of things can be made until, um, my own words, we unify. I used this in a paper once actually. Until we unify as a species, like there no black, white, male, female, um, or
Gay,
anything
straight, we're all
in
people.
between there. Yeah. Um, and the fact that the fact that we push one another, we back and forth, what's right, what's wrong, who isn't right. Um, it isn't right, and even though this wasn't a direct adaptation of that, um, but just this kind of representation wasn't the best. It really
Yeah.
wasn't. And a lot of people can be proud of Phil Spencer, at least for his kind of open, like, hey, I get it, we
Yeah.
suck. I'm gonna try and make it better in the future.
Well,
Um,
it's not his fault. His employees are dickheads.
hey, you never know. Sometimes people encourage that stuff.
Yeah. I
Sad of
mean,
it.
it. I
I mean,
don't know.
when you're a big figure though, being the head of Xbox.
I highly doubt he was like, okay, let's do this.
Well, neither do I, but
It doesn't sound like
I hope
something
not.
he knew of. It sounded like he didn't even know it happened, to be honest.
Yeah, that's I love the way you described it, just because it's just like he just walks out. What the hell is this?
Come on, guys.
Hey, David, come over here. Yeah, what is it, Phil? You know what this is? What's this? This is 20 goddamn emails from the past 5 minutes of people that are pissed. Like, right here. And this is from the past 5 minutes.
Oh, and in the middle of this is the paperwork for your termination. You fuck.
Yeah. Or the fact that he just goes out, here's your punishment. You are going to respond to every single one of these emails.
And you're gonna say you're sorry.
And you're going to say you're sorry. And if they respond again, you're going to respond to that response. But,
Have
sir,
fun.
there's like thousands of emails. Yeah, I know.
Should have thought about that before you fucked up. Think about that next time you want to have strippers over.
Right?
It's not a good idea, is it?
Uh,
Fuck's sake.
so we'll end on that. We'll end on that.
My
Like,
goodness.
good job, whatever employee thought that was a great idea. Oh my.
Disappointed in you.
You're going to be added to the Christian Meadle manual of what not to do at blank. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna write a book of a bunch of, and I'm gonna use examples of really stupid things people do in different things, and I'm gonna call it "What Not to Do at Blank," and it'll just be like a blank line. And in this case, it'll be "What Not to Do when you are representing one of the biggest technology, if not the biggest technology firm in the world."
You know what I would do if I was a business owner like that? I would have a book of the most ridiculous ways I've had to fire people and the reasons for it. And you know where that guy would go? Right underneath the guy that told the Marine to go buy a 360. Right under that
I
guy.
forgot about that.
Right under that guy.
My
That's
gosh,
exactly where I put
at the
him.
press conference. I totally forgot when at one of the many press conferences that the where the one was being talked about and discussed, a Marine, and this was, if you don't know, Microsoft really came under fire because their original plans for the Xbox One were very different.
Not
There
good.
was no buying used games, and you had to have Xbox Live.
And the
And it was one of
Connect.
those things where it was just what'd you say?
And the Connect. You had to have the Connect. It
And you
was
had to have the
unseparable.
Connect. Um,
Terrible.
Now I guess it was the biggest reason that I had a problem with this was it was just bad to your consumers. Xbox 360 was the lead in that generation of consoles.
Yeah.
Um, and it's just like, hey, all of our loyal customers, you know what we should do? We should gouge them for more money.
And piss
Um,
them off.
yeah, let's just take them off. And a Marine asked a question of, yeah, I'm overseas. on a boat.
We don't have internet.
Yeah,
Like,
we don't have an active internet connection. At least not the kind we'd use for gaming. So what am I supposed to do with your new console? And in the most rude way possible, this guy goes, "Oh, then we have a perfect product for you. It's called the Xbox 360."
you know what the worst part about that whole story
You
is?
insult insulting someone asking a question at one of your events is bad enough, but then you you insult a Marine.
Stupid.
That's the
You know
best.
what the worst, even worse than that is?
Mm.
I'm pretty sure that's how Phil Spencer got his job. Because that guy was the CEO. Yeah, that guy.
I didn't know that. Are
I'm
you sure?
pretty sure
Seems
he
not
was the
like
CEO. I'm pretty sure he was like, if he wasn't the CEO, he was like some up and up dude. He was some high up dude.
yeah, it was just it goes in the many well, but we're branching off too far, but this party goes into my book on things not to do when blank. In this case, when you represent a multi-billion-dollar technology corporation that is probably the leading one if I had to think about it on the planet because Microsoft has their hands dipped into everything.
Mm-hmm. They really
So
do.
yeah, if you go work for if you go work for Microsoft or any other big company, keep the strippers to yourself. Don't
Please.
don't make yourself look like an insensitive ass. Um,
Please don't.
so yeah, I'll end it on that. Um, thanks for listening. We try and do this once a week, so check up every once in a while, see what we've got for you. Um, I'll be uploading, like I said, I'll probably be uploading a video tomorrow. Playing some Division. Mike, is there anything you want to update?
Um,
Sound it out.
no. I was just rereading that. Oh, the guy that said that was Chief of Interactive Entertainment. That's the guy that said it. So
So
he was like a division manager of like he was pretty high up. Fucking idiot.
yeah, pretty stupid.
Anyways, yeah, no, that's it. I'm good. I got everything out of
Okay,
the way.
we'll see you in the next one.
Bye bye.
Bye.